Hi guys, it's Marina Archie here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Marina. And today we're going to be doing a bridal makeup tutorial, so let's get started. First, I'm going to be taking my sponge with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is the shade 120 Classic Ivory, and I'm going to be using this NYX Liquid Illuminator, and I'm going to mix these two together for my foundation today. Now that I have that all together, now I'm going to mix it with this brush, and this is a Eco Tools foundation brush. So I'm mixing that all together, and then I'm going to apply it to my face. I'm going to apply this with a brush, and then I'm going to go in with my sponge and blend it all out. I just think this works better because it spreads the product better for you to blend it in. So now I'm going to take my sponge and blend that in. I'm going to get my ears too, so it all is the same shade and it evens out my skin tone. And I already did my eyebrows off camera because this look is more focused on the face and the eyes only. So I'm blending all that in. And for bridal makeup, you don't want to go in too heavy with your foundation, because if you go too heavy with your foundation, it's going to start looking cakey, and you do not want to look like that on your wedding day. You want to look like you don't have much makeup on. So I'm just doing a light layer of this foundation. And you also need to drag it down to your neck as well, just so nothing looks uneven. And if you prefer a brush, you can use a brush to put on this foundation too. But I'm going to use a sponge today. So now that the foundation's all blended in, I'm going to go back and look at what else needs more coverage. So for me, it would be my cheeks, because my cheeks do get red because I have a little bit of rosacea. So I'm going to go back and cover my cheeks. And around my nose gets red too. So I'm just going to put that on my cheeks and my nose. And make sure that's all blended in. So going to put some on my eyelids too. So I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. liquid highlighter, and I'm going to put that on the high points of my cheekbones. So I'll put it right here on the high points, put some on my nose where I would highlight. So I'm just putting this where I would highlight. And then we're going to take this sponge again, and we're going to blend that out. And this is just so you look glowy. You could also just use the Matte and Poreless foundation without that NYX Liquid Illuminator if you want a matte look. But I'm going for a more dewy look. So I'm just blending that all out. You can use your finger too if you would like. It all just comes down to personal preference. Okay, so now that that is all blended out, I'm going to go under my eyes and blend out the creasing, and then I'll go in with the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. You can use a concealer for this look. You don't have to. It's all up to you. I'm not going to use concealer today, but... So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, and I'm just going to dump some in the cap. I'm going to go under my eyes and blend out all the creasing that has happened. And then I'm going to go in with that Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, and I'm just going to set the under eye with that powder. And I'm not baking, I'm just pressing that in. And I'm going to do that to the other eye. And I'm also going to do that to the eyelid as well. Just so our base is set down. If you use a cream, you're supposed to set it with a powder afterwards. Because if you leave your base tacky, it could slide around and get all over the place. Okay, so now that my eyes are all set, I'm gonna go in with this Fit Me powder, which looks like this, and this is in 120 classic ivory as well. And I'm gonna use this fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna dip my brush in, swirl it around, and then I'm going to set my face, the rest of my face. And I'm just pressing that in very lightly. Don't worry if you get powder over your liquid highlighter too, because you're just gonna put a powder highlight over top of it, so that shouldn't matter. So I'm just gonna make sure we got powder everywhere to set down all the your base. We're gonna go into the eyes now, and I think we're gonna do a classic, just bride's makeup. I think we'll do. So first, I'm gonna use this. This brush is called a crease brush by Chic Team, and I got this at Five Below. I'm pretty sure it came in with a couple makeup brushes. So I'm just going to put this brown shade right here into my crease as a transition shade. And I'm going to start off with light to darkest colors. So I'm going to use this light brown and work myself up to the darkest color I'm going to use. I'm just using a very light hand. And when you're holding your makeup brush, you want to go like this. You don't want to have your hand like this, because that's putting too much pressure and it's going to be hard to blend if you do that. So what I do is use a very light hand and just go back and forth with circular motion. I'm going to go back in with that brown shade that we're using and do that to the other eye. I'm going to build this color up to the intensity that I want it to be. So I'm getting a little bit more, and I'm going back to this eye, and I'm going to just keep packing that on until I get the color that I want. And I'm using circular motion with a light hand. So now that the transition color is on, and I built that up to the intensity that I want, I'm going to go in with the second shade, and that's going to be a little bit darker than the first shade we used. So I'm going to take this color right here, and this is like a darker brown, I would say, and this palette is from Profusion, and it is a nude 10 color eyeshadow palette. and I got this at the Dollar General, I think. It is actually pretty good for the price. So I'm just taking that darker shade and I'm going to blend that in the crease as well. And when you go darker, you got to be very careful because I'm going to be using black shades in this videos, and you have to be very careful with black eyeshadows because if you don't, it'll mess up the whole eye look. And I'm going to show you how to use black eyeshadows as well when I get to that shade. So I'm just taking that in the crease and blending that until it's fully blended. As well, and we're just blending out. And get a little bit more, tap it off and build it up a little bit more. Okay, so we are gonna start the black eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using the same brush. Wait, nope, I'm gonna use this brush for the black, just to pack it on. I'm pretty sure this is a Profusion brush, but I'm not sure. If I find it, I will link it in the description box below. So we're gonna use this end, the more pencil side, and we're gonna go in to the black eyeshadow in this palette at the very end, and we're just gonna pick that up with the pencil brush, just like this. And we're gonna pack that on, but make sure you tap off the excess. So we're going to pack that on the outer corner. And then after we're done building it up to where we want it to, we're gonna blend it. I'm going to put a little bit of translucent powder to the under my eyes, just so if we get any fallout from this black, it's going to be easier to clean up. Okay, so now that we have that powder under our eyes, we can go back into the black shade and just keep packing it on now. I'm going to get a little bit more to pack on. And I'm going to do the other eye too now that we have that packed on where we want it. Do a little bit more on this side. Alright, now we're going to take that crease brush and now we're going to blend it. So we're going to blend it just like this to where we want it. Now we're going to blend it into the crease right here. We're not going any farther into the crease. We're just blending it out in the outer corner. I'm going to pick up a little bit of black with this brush now, and that's going to help us blend it better. But I'm going to work very lightly on this color, just because it is so dark. I'm going to blend that. You really have to take time with these black eyeshadows, too. Just because they are a little bit harder to work with. Using circular motion. Alright, since that eye is already blended, we're going to work with this eye now. And I just put a little bit of black eyeshadow on the crease brush to help it blend out better. So I'm just blending that out. Okay, so now that is all blended out. So now that is all blended out, we're gonna go in with a little bit of foundation to clean it up. To clean the inner corner up where there's not really much eyeshadow, but I'm gonna use foundation with this brush, and hold on one second. This is the Color Workshop eyeshadow brush, but I'm just going to use it to clean up my inner corner. Tacky base to put that glitter. And it's okay if the foundation's like not perfect, because you're just going to blend anyway after this, so you just want to clean up this area. Okay, so now that I have foundation and it's tacky, we're going to use the same brush but the other side, and we're going to go in with this shade right here. And this is like a gold mixed with champagne glitter eyeshadow. And we're just going to put that on this brush. We're probably going to have to go in with our fingers after too as well. So I'm going to tap that off, and I'm just going to pat over that. You see how good that is? And this is like $1. I don't know if you could see the glitter that much, but it really shows up in person. So you're just putting that in the inner corner of both eyes. Okay, so now that we have that glitter on our eyes, we're going to go in with our finger just to intensify it a little bit more. And we're just going to take that on our finger and pat it on there very lightly. And don't worry if you get fallout, that's why we put the translucent powder underneath. Yeah, I see a little bit of glitter on my face, but that's alright because we can clean it up. So now we're going to take this crease brush again, and we're just lightly going to go over that black and just blend that better. Okay, so I just cleaned off the crease brush that we used since we used that black. And I'm going to take that brown shade that was in this palette and blend that out in the crease. Just right here. I'm going to pop that right here. We're using circular motion. Now that the eyes are done, we're going to wipe off the powder. And we're doing this very lightly. And you can use any powder brush that you have. You don't have to go out and buy the same brush I have. You can use any powder brush that you want to. So we're gonna go in with some eyeliner for the waterline, and I'm using the LA Colors Auto Eyeliner in black. Yeah, black. So I'm just gonna put that in my waterline. And you don't have to be really precise with that because we're going with a black eyeshadow anyway under the waterline. So I'm going to use the other end of the pencil brush that we used with the black, and I'm going to use this brush. It's like a shader brush, and I'm going to take that black shade that we used again, and I'm going to stamp it under the waterline right where that black is. And you're going to be very careful with this too. But just stamp it under that eyeliner. So it looks like that. I'm going to take a little bit more of that black. I'm going to take a little bit more of that black eyeshadow and do the other eye. So now that I have that, we're going to take the crease brush again, and we're going to use this brown shade in this palette again, and I'm going to blend out that black now with this color. Now that we have our eyeshadow done and all that done, we're going to use some mascara. You can use whatever mascara that you have or want to use. I'm going to be using the Aziza mascara, and this is black, and I'm going to put that on the top and bottom eyelashes. Okay, so now that I'm done with my mascara, I'm going to move on to bronzer. I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and this is the Profusion Selfie Kit Complete Face Palette, and I got this at the Dollar General. I'm using a very light hand too. If you get the bronzer too far, like down, you can also put translucent powder under this and bake, and it'll help. I'm not going to put too much on because this is a wedding tutorial and I don't want to look like I have too much on. So I'm also putting that into my hairline too, just so it looks more natural. I'm going to blend that out using circular motion. And I'm doing that to the jawline too. And I'm also going to bring it down my neck. Which when you're doing this, you're also setting the foundation that's on your neck. But you can use face powder too for it. You don't have to use bronzer. So now that you got your bronzer on, you're going to move on. If you want some blush, you can use some blush, but I'm not a blush person, and I'm not going to use blush today. But if you did want to use blush, you could do any kind of blush you want. You can do a rosy blush, you can do a light pink blush, you can do a dark blush. It don't matter. Different skin tones, different preferences. So if you were to do blush, you would go like this and bring it up, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to highlighter now. We're going to go in with those two shades, and I'm going to use those as my highlight shade. I like a lot of highlights, so. And I'm just gonna put that wherever I put that liquid highlighter. Grabbing a little bit more of that highlight, I'm gonna do the other cheekbone. And this is not like a boom in your face highlight, it's like just a subtle highlight, which is actually pretty good for your wedding. And it's really cheap. Okay, so I'm gonna do my chin too a little bit, my nose, where I put that highlight, and Cupid's bow. Okay, so for lips, I'm not really gonna do much. You could do whatever lip you want. You can do a nude lip, a pink lip, a red lip, whatever you want. I'm just gonna put some lip gloss on and that'll be all. I'm gonna be using this pink gloss and it is LA Colors High Shine Shea Butter Lip Gloss, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on, not too much. Okay, so I'm done with my lip gloss and this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked this video and enjoyed hanging out with me, watching me do my makeup, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!